I didn't expect him to die. Not because he was young, he wasn't. Not because he wasn't sick, he was. But because death had become so clinical to me, predictable, monitored, controlled. I thought I had grown used to it, but that night I learned I hadn't. Not really. His name was Mr. Karan, a 68-year-old man admitted for pneumonia and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease exacerbation. He wasn't a dramatic case. No alarms, no code blue. Just a tired man who had spent a lifetime breathing heavily and was now breathing his last. I was on the night shift. The unit was quiet, too quiet. Most patients were sleeping or sedated. I had done my rounds and was about to sit down for a quick break when I saw it. A subtle change on the monitor. His oxygen saturation was slowly dropping 95% to 92% and then 89%. I walked into his room, casually at first, expecting to adjust his mask, maybe reposition him. But when I stepped in, I felt something shift in the air. He was awake, eyes open, calm, no panic, no gasping, just watching me. I adjusted his BiPAP mask and asked, "Are you okay, Mr. Karan?" He nodded slowly. Then he said something I wasn't ready for. "It's time." I froze. "Time for what?" I asked. He smiled faintly. "You know." I checked his vitals again, heart rate slowing. SBO now 84. No chest rise. I pressed the call button. No response yet, but he reached out and touched my hand. His grip was weak, but deliberate. "Please, don't let me be alone," he whispered. So I stayed. No CPR was ordered. He had a DNR comfort measures only. I pulled a chair beside his bed. The monitor beeped softer now. I muted it. The room was still. Just him and me. He looked out the window. There was nothing there but the dark. "I've been alone a long time," he said. "I used to be someone. Then life got small. Then quiet." I nodded. "You're not alone now." His hand grew colder in mine. His breaths grew shallower. Until he didn't breathe anymore. No dramatic gasp. No machines screaming. No code team. Just silence. Time of death. 3:17 a.m. I sat there long after he passed, still holding his hand. Something inside me cracked, not in a loud, dramatic way, but quietly, like an old floorboard beneath too much weight. In nursing, we're taught to document death. Notify the family. Call the morgue. Clean the body. Move on. But no one teaches you how to hold the silence afterward. No one prepares you for the stillness, the kind that wraps itself around your throat and doesn't let go. That night, I didn't just watch a man die. I watched what it means to matter, even in your final moments. I watched dignity, grief, and grace all happen in one hospital room with no audience. Just one nurse, and one man who didn't want to be forgotten. I left that shift changed. Now, whenever I see a patient alone, I remember Mr. Karan. I sit a little longer. I speak a little softer. I stay present even when there's nothing left to do. Because sometimes, being there is the most important thing we do. Learning lessons for healthcare workers. Not every patient will have family. In those cases, you may be the last person they see. Be present. Death doesn't always look like an emergency. Sometimes it's peaceful and still deserves our full attention. Emotional detachment may protect you, but compassion is what makes you a healer. Learning lessons for medical and nursing students. DNR doesn't mean do nothing. It means offer comfort, dignity, and presence. Learn to recognize the emotional weight of death, not just the clinical signs. The quietest patients often teach the loudest lessons. Learning lessons for the public. Healthcare workers don't just save lives, they witness death in ways most people never see. Every patient, no matter how sick or old, deserves to be treated like a person, not just a case. If you have a loved one in the hospital, try not to let them die alone. If you can't be their prey, someone like that nurse will be. Closing reflection. That night I learned death is not always about urgency or alarms, it is about presence. Mr. Karan reminded me that even when we cannot add days to life, we can add dignity to the last moments. Sometimes, the most important thing we do is simply not let someone leave this world alone. This is Silent Scrubs, where every story carries a lesson for healthcare workers, students, and the public. If this story touched you, subscribe and walk with me through the unseen truths of hospital life.